And we're just going to start with the prime times. Microsoft is ruining GitHub.
You guys just see what I did there? See that move? Yeah. Some of you would call that a 180. I would actually call that impersonating GitHub and their recent changes about GitHub Actions. If you haven't been on Twitter or Hacker News, you may not have seen that GitHub made a big change to their GitHub
I'm just going to make sure we have it. It's just right here. Perfect.
Actions, and of course,
And yes, obviously, of course, Microsoft is going to ruin something else as they usually do.
this led to an absolute pandemonium. People freaking out, sending all caps tweets. It was a bloodbath in those streets. And so, of course, what did GitHub do? They rolled it back. Now, before I just start yapping and just give my very emotional appeal to everything that has happened, which, by the way,
Man, he's got such a great mustache. I'm really jealous.
there may be a small crash out by the end of this. Before I do that, you should probably understand what's happening. So, a couple days ago, we were hit with the following title. Today, we're announcing updates to our pricing and product models for GitHub Actions. We got ourselves a pricing change, and typically, what a pricing change, at least what I'm familiar with, is that, well, it's time to pay more money. But this
most likely every single year.
This one was a bit more complex because first GitHub talks about how there's going to be a price reduction of 40%, and you're like, oh, okay, you're making things cheaper. All right, hey, confusing, but okay, this is not this is not industry standard. But then the coup de grace landed. We are introducing.
I'm so sorry, but it is pronounced the coup de grâce. In French, you don't pronunciate the P.
Not industry standard, but then the coup de grace landed. We are introducing a 0.2 cent per minute action cloud platform charge for all action workflows across GitHub hosted and self-hosted.
I love this SQL.
Wow. DataGrip allows you to write SQL you'll love.
We say SQL.
Yes, the big glorious change landing was that some people will save some money. Some people attempting to do a little self-hosting themselves, they might start getting charged. Now, I think it's pretty clear from the outside. It doesn't take a rocket surgeon to understand what happened here. Charging for self-hosted is just gonna never play well in Peoria. It's gonna 100.
That is so stupid. You're gonna charge to run on somebody else's own hardware? That's so stupid. Yo, bro, t'étais dans le vidéo hier, okay? I'm just gonna ask you to use your inside voice, please.
100% of the time backfire on you, and I have no idea how whoever was in charge of this, how you didn't go, oh yeah, this is a horrible idea. I don't need the community's feedback on this one to know that this is a bad idea. Anywho, they went through with it. Of course, this led to very many tweets such as this one. Almost nobody will be impacted by this, and the money is basically nothing. Cool. So why are you setting your brand perception on fire to do it? I think even better, Mitchell again.
That's well put.
Every time he says something on Twitter, it's worth listening to because it's obvious why this guy has been so successful. He's very good at explaining how everybody feels in a few sentences. I think in a moment when GitHub's reputation amongst developers is at an all-time low, making the policy change to charge for self-hosted runners in any scenario instead of making other technical changes to make GitHub runners more attractive will go down as a very bad move. And he is
It's so stupid. You're gonna make somebody pay to use their own shit?
Absolutely correct. So if you're not familiar with some of the GitHub runner situation, this old script was just all over the place.
Oh my god, yes, because this is such a waste of resources. I don't know if this is the correction or the original sin. But yeah, that's
And in fact, this script was so upsetting that Zig, the programming languages, left GitHub altogether due to the amount of bugs that are surrounding this one little script, which, by the way, if you're not familiar.
So yeah, because somebody decided this is the best way to do a counter, and because it solved this issue for this person, and then it was introduced into GitHub, and everybody started using it, but it's it's wasting so much resources, and most likely Mr. The Prime Time is going to be able to explain it way better than I do.
Familiar, this literally just pegs CPU until amount of seconds goes by. And there's a nefarious bug that was fixed like 2 years later that was causing just jobs to run forever. This is a little over 4 years ago today. So get this. This person says, hey, we have a bunch of actions that are running. There's 16 individual actions running, which means that even though they're running for 4 to 6 seconds each, we're getting charged 1 minute of running per job. That's 16 minutes every single time we do our actions, even though we have nicely separated them all out. And of course,
So it is effectively overcharging. If the code was optimized, this would be a non-issue.
what is the response from Microsoft? I really appreciate your detailed feedback. This is really useful for understanding for our planning. Having a runner for each of your jobs is indeed overkill in this scenario. This is just like the most classic Microsoft style of response. The proper response, by the way, is, you know what? GitHub should figure out how to compute CPU time better, and we should not round up all the time. Here's a clear and obvious situation in which we are far exceeding user expectation and charging significantly higher than we need to. We as a company should do better. We should make our platform both technically excellent and precise so our customers do not feel cheated. Yet that is not the case. That, again, is not the case. This reminds me of this article, and I already covered this, which is Microsoft is plugging more holes that let you use Windows 11 without an online account. Now, you may not know this. You may not.
That is disrespectful to the users. Like if you work in like as an MSP, managed service provider, this is going to hinder a lot of setting up processes for these small and medium businesses. That is pretty stupid, but they're doing everything that they can to have you locked into the system and be able to track and correlate data with your person.
You may not have heard this, but effectively what happens is that if you made a local account during the out-of-box experience, it could lead to an incomplete setup. So instead of fixing the flow and making, again, their product more technically excellent and great for the customer, what do? No, you can't. You should be able to make local accounts this way. You need to go to online accounts. Like, again, it's just no respect for the customer. This is the most classic Microsoft behavior of all time.
So they don't want you to own anything. Everything has to be theirs, and they're gonna rent it to you.
Anytime there's a problem, hey brother, you're doing it wrong. That's skill issues on your behalf.
That's
You need to
yeah.
change your ways and do it the way we
Yeah.
want you to do it. So
Yeah.
of course, over the days of everybody freaking out, the VP, the new VP, by the way, of GitHub, Jared Palmer, which I do want to state for the record, he's an excellent engineer. I have known him personally for quite a few years, and honestly, I think he could potentially turn this ship around. I have very high hopes for Jared. He says, hey, we are actually going to postpone the self-hosted GitHub charge for runners. I'm very, very happy that he's doing this. This is obviously a whole bunch of, let's call it corporate speech. So
PR.
this line right here. We missed the opportunity to gather feedback from the community ahead,
Oh my
ahead of this
God.
move.
Yeah, that's a
Reality is,
huge.
you
Yeah,
never needed feedback. It's an obvious L. It
it's
is a clear
stupid.
and obvious L.
Yeah.
You just have to go, how do people feel about runners? Oh, they're very upset at how technically dilapidated they are. Let's fix that first. Before we do something that will be perceived as adversarial, let's first make things excellent so people just want to run their stuff on our platform. And then we could be territorial, maybe. Maybe it's not adversarial, just territorial. Also, I do want to throw out one other thing. I really have
It's all about perception. So yeah, if they were to have so much more plus value added to the service that they offer, maybe it would have been taken better. But since it's not up to a certain standard, it was a stupid idea.
liked how this conversation has morphed into a couple things, which is that, hey, not only is GitHub doing these pricing changes, but also, hey, dude, we gave away 11.5 billion minutes. That's $184 million to OSS. We're supporting OSS. I do want to throw this out here. When you make an adversarial price change, but then on the other hand, you say how good everything is and like all the good moves you're doing, it kind of feels like emotional manipulation. Okay.
Yeah.
I kind of feel like you're doing some sort of some sort of hostage situation with my emotions where you're just like, hey, yeah, this was a good, like, you see how good we are? I'm going to kick you in the nuts, but I'm going to give you a present at the exact same time. And I want you to say thank you. Maybe I don't want to say thank you. Again, I think Mitchell Hashimoto, again, amazing guy, says it really, really true here, which is the first step to fix GitHub organizationally is to split Copilot and GitHub into separate entities. For those that don't know, if you
Uh, obviously, I mean the idea that integrating everything together is worthwhile is very dumb.
didn't catch up on any of my many videos about me being frustrated at Microsoft, they have moved GitHub. They no longer do they have a CEO, but they moved GitHub under the Core AI VP org. And so if you look right here, you can see right here, Jared is actually a VP of Core AI and a senior VP of GitHub. So he's really under the AI org of Microsoft. He is not under developer experience or developer tools or develop
That's gonna end well for sure.
consider anything consideration. It's under Copilot. It's under I'm going to use your code to make our AI better organization. Bring in an inspirational CEO.
That's what you get, right? You get these type of integrations together and just a slight update to terms and condition, and then everything that's yours is gonna be fed to these models. People try to get a new source of information because they already went through most of the internet, and they noticed that their models, they're too stupid for the amount of information they were able to ingest, and so they're trying to get new sources.
From the dev community to lead GitHub. Don't let it report into the nebulous corporate machine. Let the Octocat free. And Mitchell is 100% correct here. They just simply need to separate out from AI. Like, yes, AI, fine. You know what? Your AI can learn from GitHub, but you should make GitHub under the developer org. You should be making it excellent. See, the thing.
Yes, because then it doesn't come. GitHub doesn't stay like a developer product first. It's gonna simply be a tool to be used to feed their AI models, and so it's gonna drastically change the way GitHub is used and advanced. And so there's a very stupid business plan.
Thing that's been really bothering me about GitHub is for the last like 7 years, they haven't made any change to the actual core system. PRs have remained largely unchanged in how you interact for as long as I can remember. My experience on GitHub in 2012 and 2013
It's the
is
same.
not much different than it is in 2025. Now I get it, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But there are such thing as stacked diffs, which is absolutely incredible. It was created in Facebook like 10 years ago. Google's been using them a whole bunch. It's been around for a decade, and GitHub has made no effort into making it happen. In fact, an entire cottage industry started up making stacked diffs on top of GitHub, and I even used it because it was pretty dang awesome. Also, in the last couple years, an entirely new version control that's built on top of GitHub that really takes in this idea of like a whole new approach to how commits and stacks and merges and everything should work. And apparently it's significantly easier. I have not, to be fair, I have not yet to use it. I've heard really, really great things. GitHub is making no actual effort towards like, how do we make better developer interaction as opposed to what? More Copilot? Now, I know at the end of the day, I might be being a little unfair. Maybe I'm a little negative. I don't want to be negative because ultimately I do want GitHub to be successful. I host a lot of my code there. I would like better experiences. The thing
I really enjoy watching his videos because I don't really have that much hindsight in. Bro, I think my GPU is having a little bit of trouble. What the fuck? So I don't have a lot of experience with programming, and so I really enjoy having him being able to explain those point of views.
thing that just makes me upset is that you've had so many at-bats at this point, and you've yet to just get a runner on base. Just give us a runner on base. Start focusing on the technical excellence and allow us to have a platform that matches the open source software that's being hosted on it. I think at this time, there has been no greater point for GitHub to actually be in danger. The incumbent could be toppled if a platform became appealing enough for people to jump ship to. Now, I know that's going to be very difficult. Obviously, there's just so much.
Yeah, because it's already intertwined with the way that most programmers work. So it would be a great hassle to just remove everything and have it switch to a new platform. But obviously, they shouldn't just count on that and sit on their laurels. So they should still work into improving the platform.
Momentum behind GitHub, and I totally get why it will continue to win. And they have so many more at-bats left. Just please start getting runners on bases. Hey, like the video, make a comment, tell me how you feel. Also, thanks for all the subs. Dude, you guys are crazy. Genuinely appreciate it. Over 1 million subs. I cannot believe a channel talking about code and code-related news is out here sitting at 1 million. You guys are awesome. Thank you very much. The name is the Primeagen. Hey, is that
Primeagen.
HTTP?
All right.
Get that out of here. That's not how we order coffee. We order coffee via SSH terminal.
Really?
Yeah, you want a real experience? You want real coffee? You want awesome subscriptions so you never have to remember
No
again?
way.
You
That's
want exclusive
okay. I'm a sucker for that.
blends with exclusive coffee and exclusive content? Then check out Cron. You don't know what SSH is? Well, maybe the coffee is not for you.
No way. That's all right. That is good marketing. That's pretty good marketing.